So also too, I think that allowing children to decide or to make an adult decision on abortion, whether they're able to have one or not able to have one, I think is one of the most ridiculous things imaginable. You're asking a child to make adult decisions, and that is the only adult decision they're ever going to be able to make as a child. Um, Essentially, from the standpoint of the law, they can't smoke, they can't drink, they can't file taxes, they can't buy a house. I mean, there's so much stuff that a child can't do because they're not an adult. But you're saying a child can make a decision whether or not they have a child or are able to terminate a pregnancy, right? Obviously, like I said, this is not in regards to rape, because that is obviously a cut and dry for most any person with any kind of moral standing. And it's not even a question. But for children, I think it should be a law, if anything, or part of that law should be to discussing children and their because that they're not able to make an adult decision. They shouldn't be able to, and anything else, that shouldn't stop right there to having a child as equally as well. So, for example, if a 14-year-old girl gets pregnant because she chose to have sexual intercourse, right? She should not be able to decide whether she has a kid or not, because she's not the one that's going to be taking care of that child. It's going to be the parents, obviously, having to financially support her and her child, because she's not going to be able to provide housing. She's not going to be able to provide food, clothing, because she can't work. She can't legally get a job to do that. And to say that it's fair that the government takes care of that, obviously it's us as taxpayers taking care of that, isn't right. Equally is right. And typically that doesn't happen because the amount of money required to take care of that child isn't offset with the amount of assistance that's obviously out there. So then you're asking a parent to step in and do it themselves. So then you're telling the parent that you don't have a choice into having an additional child that you may not have wanted. And obviously that's going to have a full, kind of a long issue, because then you hinder the parents from being able to sustain wealth themselves to be able to pass on to that younger generation, to their kids, to their grandkids, because they are going to have to essentially fork out more money and accrue more debt, right, to be able to have to take care of that grandchild, and to be able to support their child even longer than they would have, because their child won't be able to support themselves because they're already hindered by having a child and the income that it takes to make that, to essentially to provide for that child, because they're not going to be able to have a sustainable education, or it will take them longer to achieve educational and employment goals. So, saying that a child can make the decision to have a pregnancy, I think shouldn't be so based on the child. The child should really have no say so into that, because they made a decision, and the parents should be able to decide whether that pregnancy should be terminated. Now, you can say, well, that's harsh to say that somebody else is choosing whether someone else is able to have a child or not. But it wasn't the same child who put themselves in a position for that decision to be made, because essentially you would be forcing the opposite. You'd be telling a parent, you have to take care of this child or have to take care of this grandchild regardless of whatever decision they make, but then the impact that it has on your life doesn't matter. So I think that, when you're having a baby, especially with a minor having a baby, you're affecting so many lives, not only the unborn child, the current child, and the parents, just by that instantaneous action, and hindering all of them from obviously financial and educational potentials, really. So Again, just want to put a little food for thought into that. Again, appreciate everybody always with the support. I always drop your comments down. You know, if you don't agree, you do agree. I definitely check those out, and we can definitely address them on the next episode. Also like and subscribe. Again, able to subscribe now. Again, I had to get a few videos into the channel. But now that I obviously have a few videos, make sure you subscribe to it, get constant updates. Again, I drop out 2 to 3 a week, so make sure you guys continue to look out for those. And again, see you next time on the next episode, alright?